All right, we'll hear more from the defense in just a minute. Let me bring in our guest for this hour, attorney and former prosecutor Randolph Rice. Randolph, great to see you as always. Thank you so much for joining me on this Monday. First and foremost, let's start with what we heard from the prosecution. Now, we know this is a case where it's not guilty by reason of insanity is what the defense is claiming. But the picture painted by the prosecution, very compelling, it basically said, look, she went and picked the knife, then she picked the victim, then she tried to get rid of the knife before she was arrested. All those things suggest someone who is perfectly in their right state of mind. What do you make of their argument?
Yeah, Michael, that was really smart of you to pick up on that. I think what she was saying, and she said at the very end of her opening is listen to the words and watch the actions of the defendant. And that's going to be their counter argument to this not guilty by reason of insanity claim that the defense is going to be making. Words and actions, those are what is going to be important for the prosecution to get over that claim by the defense.
Now, we've seen lots of cases here, Randolph, where NGRI, or not guilty by reason of insanity, is argued by the defense. The ones that are successful seem to have the building blocks that we seem to have here. Someone who has struggled with it over the years, has a diagnosis, someone who needs drugs to function in society, someone who was not on their drugs that day, and someone who does something. Because when you look at it from sort of afar, you take away some of the real tragic elements of it, the fact that a child was killed, a mother was stabbed, for no reason at all, no connection at all. It really is one of those things where it kind of speaks for itself. Who would do that except someone who was in a psychotic state? They have experts, they're going to go against each other. What do you make of that? This idea that there are the building blocks here for a case that could find success in NGRI.
Yeah, and this is going to be a case of the experts. It's going to come down to which doctor does the jury believe, or which doctor do they give more weight to? Because as you said, it's these building blocks, this timeline, this history of the defendant acting in a way that will ultimately show that she doesn't understand the wrongfulness of her actions. And that's what the defense is going to have to prove here.
Yeah, and I think with all that history that we're going to hear, as you heard there in the beginning of the defense's closing argument, it's going to be very helpful to them in their case. Randolph, stand by. Before we go to break, I have an update